On OSRC News at 7, Ondo State, UN unites against drug trafficking, cultism. Progress boosts hope for Akure Idonre Road construction. Federal, state, local governments share over 2 trillion naira revenue. From foreign scene, Japan launches migration program, special city for Nigerian workers.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on the news at 7. I am Omoshiliola Adesoya Ajayi. The Ondo State government is committed to combating drug trafficking, cybercrime, kidnapping and related crimes to improve living standards. Hosting a United Nations Office on Drug and Crimes delegation, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa said that security and rule of law are central to the state's development plans. He also highlighted youth empowerment programs such as One Youth, One Skill, which provide vocational training and startup grants to steer young people away from crime and promote peace and productivity. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole now reports.
The delegation of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime was led to the governor's office in Akure by his country representative, Nigeria office, Sheikh Ture.
Your Excellency.
The team met with Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa to discuss combating drug trafficking, cybercrime, cultism, kidnapping, and related crimes. Mr. Ture praised Ondo State's efforts in security, economic development, and youth empowerment, emphasizing that their mission extends beyond the national level to working with states and local governments for grassroots impact. Highlighting Nigeria's high drug addiction rates, Ture called for preventive measures like education, community interventions, and strong interagency cooperation to tackle drug abuse, human trafficking, and financial crimes.
I had a discussion with your state assembly, and they tasked me to look at ways to talk to NDLA to have a valid proposition to start looking at prevention, at the primary school prevention, at the university prevention.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa reaffirmed his commitment to combating drug trafficking, cybercrime, cultism, kidnapping, and related crimes to improve Ondo State and its citizens' living standards. He noted that order, security, and rule of law are key pillars of his administration's agenda.
I believe wherever you have, when the latter people are safe, there is orderliness and rule of law, then the state can thrive. And one of the ways you can do that is to fight against all of these crimes, through intelligence gathering, working with the various security agencies, other stakeholders. And for us, we have been doing all of this by giving support to all our security agencies when it comes to one of the drugs, you call it marijuana. Grow freely here without seed, without planting in some part of Ondo State. So we have a strong presence of NDLA here in Ondo State, and we are giving them, massive support so as to curb, the legal cultivation of Indian hemp of marijuana. But we believe also, as a state, I must say this, that we believe in medicinal cannabis, the cannabis oil, which we are engaging the NDLA to legalize, because that in itself can bring control. And we know a lot of countries around the world are already into this, and it's a major international product that has been traded for medicinal use.
Governor Aiyedatiwa stated that his administration aims to build a resilient society with positively engaged youths and peaceful communities, and is ready to partner the United Nations and other stakeholders to fight crimes and promote development.
We are providing grants also to some of our artisans to support them. Apart from training, we give them startup capital. We have an agency, Ondo State Entrepreneurship Agency, here, regularly training our youth on one skill or the other. And I'm glad that United Nations is taking the lead in this, engaging with other nations of the world, so that we can have a society that is at least, if not totally free from all of these crimes, at least reduced to various minimum, because we've come to realize that no nation is 100% free of crime.
In an interview, Mr. Toure expressed the willingness to collaborate with Ondo State government to curb drug-related crimes and social vices.
We feel compelled to see how we can use all our capacity to help implement stability for investment, because his mandate is on bringing investment to Ondo State, creating jobs, and also increasing the resilience of the youth. And you can only do it if you are very hard on crime, cultism, kidnapping, to bring confidence for those who have money to come and say we'll invest in the agriculture business or in the incubators. So basically we are looking at ways that we can have community-led intervention, working with the youth commissioner also to see what the youth of Ondo can do to be part of the solution-making process.
Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa says his administration remains committed to strengthening institutions across the state to ensure sustainable development and improved service delivery. The governor, who received in audience the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Information and Strategy Management in Akure, said his government recently signed a memorandum of understanding with investors to establish a 500,000 barrels per day modular refinery in the state's southern corridor. Aiyedatiwa was conferred with the title of Distinguished Fellow and presented with an award for exemplary leadership. Again, Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports.
Seated here at the governor's office in Akure are members and leaders of the Chartered Institute of Information and Strategy Management. The people received in audience by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa in company of some members of the State Executive Council were led by the Institute's registrar, Peter Oyintoke, who described the governor as a shining example of visionary leadership, integrity, and service to humanity. According to him, the Aiyedatiwa administration has recorded notable achievements in infrastructure renewal, agricultural growth, improved healthcare delivery, education, economic empowerment, and inclusive governance.
The biggest of all is the honorary doctorate of Prowess University in leadership and good governance. That one is coming on board with the professor of the Prowess University. They are coming to personally come and present it. We are here to come and present the Distinguished Fellow of the Institute.
In recognition of his outstanding contributions to leadership and community development, the Institute honored Governor Aiyedatiwa with Distinguished Fellow and presented him an award of excellence for exemplary leadership. The governor, who appreciated the body for the honor, highlighted some of his administration's strides in education, agriculture, and industrial development. The governor noted that the state continues to maintain its lead in cocoa production in Nigeria, accounting for about 40% of the nation's output, while farmers across the state are being supported with incentives to boost productivity.
For us, we will continue to provide leadership, ensure that we have a very peaceful state, because we believe when there is safety and peace in any state, there will be development. Investors will come to invest. People can go about their businesses, any form of fear, and they can find whatever they are doing. And that is the first thing. The primary function of any government is security and safety of the people. And that will take pride in that. That's what Bruce Lee has been adjudged to be one of the most peaceful and safest states. A lot of investment are coming to Bruce Lee. A lot, especially in the southern corridor. like Dr. Yaton mentioned, that we will leave this state by the time we'll be done here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for, but as long as God lives, the number of years you will allow me to spend here, we will leave the state better than the way we met it. Definitely. And I can see the signs, really. Just about 3 weeks ago, we signed an MOU with a modular refinery backbone infrastructure, 500,000 barrel per day refinery is coming up in Southern Florida.
He added that discussions are ongoing with a petrochemical company for a fertilizer plant, while plans for a deep-sea port project had reached an advanced stage with Chinese partners. The governor stressed the importance of accurate information dissemination in governance, warning that misinformation could undermine developmental efforts. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAC) has shared over 2 trillion naira as July 2025 revenue among the federal government, state government, and local government councils as its August 2025 meeting held in Abuja. The over 2 trillion naira distributable revenue comprised 1.282 trillion naira from statutory revenue, 640.610 billion naira from value-added tax, 37.601 billion naira from the electronic money transfer levy, and 39.745 billion naira from exchange difference. The Office of the Accountant General of the Federation said in a communique issued by FAC that the total gross revenue available in July 2025 was 3.3836 trillion naira. The statement noted that from the total distributable revenue of 2.001 trillion naira, the federal government received 735.081 billion naira, state government received 660.349 billion naira, and local government councils received 485.039 billion naira, while 120.359 billion, amounting to 13% of mineral revenue, was shared as derivation revenue to benefiting states. President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to try a new launched personal income tax calculator that estimates how much would be paid under the tax reforms his administration recently signed into law. In a post on his official X account, the president said the calculator would allow citizens to compare the estimated tax under the proposed reforms with current rates and ensure a clear understanding of the impact on individual incomes. Tinubu said the reforms, which take effect from January 2026, are intended to establish a fair tax system, one that never weighs down the most vulnerable. You're watching the news on Osrc television. We take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
Nigerians' commitment to achieving universal health care coverage is reflected in the unwavering dedication of my administration to uphold this right for every individual, young or old, in rural or urban areas. Health is not merely the absence of disease, but the embodiment of physical, mental, and social well-being. It is a fundamental human right.
Nigeria as a global agricultural powerhouse, supplying quality produce to international markets while ensuring every citizen has access to affordable nutrition.
Powered by Grassroots Movement for Tinubu GMT, Ondo State Chapter, GMT, in God we trust.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The Akure-Idore Road construction project has been attracting attention from residents and commuters. Flag off by the Ondo State government on April 30, 2025, the project has been receiving steady attention from the contractor handling the work. Residents, however, are appealing for timely completion and caution against any form of abandonment. Blessing Obi brings us an update on the progress so far.
Once notorious for congestion and its outdated single carriageway, the Akure-Idore Road was long associated with bumpy rides and frustrating delays. But since its flag off in April, visible progress has been recorded, with construction work advancing daily. At the project site, drainage systems are already taking shape on both sides of the road. Heavy machineries rouse as workers grade the road and lay the foundation, clear signs that work is in full swing. Residents describe the project as long overdue, recalling the road's deplorable condition and the delays it once caused. They urge the government to sustain momentum until completion.
The work is ongoing. They are putting more pressure and more energy on the work, and it was so nice. We saw people pulling out. The workers are doing well. Everywhere is going smoothly, and the road is going on fine. It was it's very, very terrible was, and it's not nice. Even when it is rainy season, everywhere is so jam-packed. But right now we can see the changes, and we pray may the Lord give the government more arms to deliver the project.
I even like what they are doing now, and as they are doing the work, they are moving fast. They are not playing over it. It's a good improvement, and I love it. Before it was too small, congested, go slow, everywhere, but if they finish it now, there will be enough space for everybody to move free. With the view of things now, they are fast.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gọ́vùnà wa, ètò bá wa ń ṣọ̀nà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, torí pé ọdún mẹ́wàá síbi tá a wà gan àrònú pé wọ́n lè rántí ọ̀nà yìí, tá a dẹ̀ rí pé wẹ́rẹ́ tán wọlé sí ìjọba wọn yìí, tán dẹ̀ rántí ọ̀nà yìí. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn gan, a dẹ̀ rí pé wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun, wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ wọn rí dáadáa, a dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ó jẹ́ àǹfààní fún wa láti rí pé àwọn ásídẹ̀ǹtì kan tó tiẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́nà yìí lẹ́yìn ìgbà tán bá parí a rí pé àwọn ásídẹ̀ǹtì yẹn á dínkù.
The Akure-Idore Road is being redesigned with modern traffic systems, solar-powered streetlights, and a 28-meter-wide dual carriageway featuring a robust pavement structure to accommodate heavy vehicular traffic. When completed, the project is expected to ease movement, boost economic activities, and significantly enhance the quality of life for residents and road users. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
The People's Democratic Party (PDP) is facing internal conflicts ahead of its national elective convention in November. The camp lawyer to the Minister of FCC, Nyesom Wike, has rejected a Southern Leaders Zoning consultative meeting held in Lagos, citing lack of consultation and exclusion of key stakeholders. The PDP Governors Forum is set to convene in Zamfara State to discuss present issues and ensure a smooth convention. Meanwhile, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and other governors are committed to proceeding with the convention as planned. A 44-member zoning committee led by Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri has been consulting across region and is expected to propose a zoning formula for National Working Committee positions. There are indications that the crisis within the party may impact the convention's success. The government of Japan has named the city of Kisarazu as the hometown for Nigerians willing to live and work in the country as part of its strategic efforts to deepen cultural diplomacy, promote economic growth, and enhance workforce productivity. Acting Ambassador to Japan, Mrs. Florence Adeshike, in a statement noted that under the new partnership announced on the sidelines of the 9th Tokyo International Conference for African Development, the Japanese government will create a special visa category for highly skilled, innovative, and talented young Nigerians who want to move to Kisarazu to live and work. Japan International Cooperation Agency in a ceremony also named the cities of Nagai in Yamagata, the hometown of Tanzania, Sanjo in Niigata, the hometown of Ghana, and Imabari in Ehime, the hometown of Mozambique. The mayor of Kisarazu, Yoshikuni Watanabe, said the 4 cities will foster a foundation for two-way exchanges for manpower development that will add value to the economic growth of Japan, Nigeria, and the other 3 African nations. President Bola Tinubu has departed Yokohama, Japan for Brazil, where he will begin a state visit on August 24, according to a statement signed by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga. The president will make a stopover in Los Angeles before proceeding to Brasilia in Brasilia capital. Tinubu began his 2-nation trip on August 15, leaving Abuja with a brief stopover in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, before arriving in Yokohama on August 18. While in Japan, he attended the opening ceremony and plenary of the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development on August 20, held bilateral meetings and ran off with his interactive session with members of the Nigerian community on Thursday night. During the meeting, the president urged Nigerians in diaspora to contribute their expertise and resources to the country's growth and stability. He noted that the national development could not be left to government alone, but required a shared sense of responsibility between citizens at home and abroad. You're still watching the news at 7 on Osrc television. We take another commercial break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Glad to have you back. The United States government has suspended the issuance of work visas for Nigerian and other foreign truck drivers, citing job security concerns and safety risks for American citizens. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who announced the decision, said it takes immediate effect. According to him, the rising number of foreign truck drivers on U.S. highway is both threatening lives and reducing opportunities for American truckers. The move comes under President Donald Trump's renewed clampdown on immigration since returning to office in January 2025. As part of new measures, travelers from countries with high visa overstay rates or weak travel database will be required to pay a bond of $5,000 to $15,000 before obtaining certain categories of visas. Growing concerns in West Africa about health risk from use of unregulated sexual stimulants. Our report has found that products in West Africa claiming to be 100 natural herbal remedies to improve virility are resulting in serious consequences. Blessing Obi tells us more.
As West Africa continues to be flooded by unregulated sexual stimulants, there's growing concerns about the health risk faced by the men who use them. A New York Times report has found that products claiming to be 100% natural herbal remedies to improve virility are resulting in serious consequences. These artisanal drugs are leaving men drooling uncontrollable, suffering from migraines and life-threatening erections and facing a higher risk of heart attacks. Public health officials in Ivory Coast found that so-called sexual stimulants like beverages contains a drug commonly known as Viagra, but at levels 8 times higher than the recommended dose. Pills are manufactured in India and smuggled into the country, where they are crushed and mixed with other ingredients to form a drink which is sold for $150 domestically. The United Nations says up to half of the drugs in West Africa are unregulated and result in an estimated 500,000 deaths a year. While Ivory Coast suspended a production a few months ago, citing misleading advertisements and health risks, including death, demand remains high. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
The number of people whose lives or property are at risk from wildfire has surged by almost 40% in just 2 decades, according to new research. The increasing vulnerability of human populations to wildfire underlines the urgent need for proactive measures to protect communities. Wuraolami Olanipekun has details.
Wildfires have smashed records this year. Los Angeles had the most destructive inferno in its history. In Spain, smoke pollution reached the highest levels in a quarter of a century, and in Turkey, thousands of people fled their homes. Now, new research analyzing trends over 2 decades has shown there's been a 40% rise in the number of people at risk. And it's not just because of heat and drought from a changing climate.
In certain parts of the world, we're also seeing people migrating more and more into areas that are fire prone. We're seeing that, for example, in the Western US, where we see this very idyllic, romantic image of living closer to nature. And that's a trend which is essentially putting people closer to fire and closer to fire-prone landscape.
Scientists identified 18.6 million recorded fires between 2002 and 2021, with a total of 440 million people affected. And wildfires in Europe and North America grab public attention. 85% of the people affected are actually in Africa. But it is the growing intensity of fires close to communities that is causing concern. Researchers say there needs to be more warnings of risky activities like barbecues in drought conditions, and landscape needs to be carefully managed with dry vegetation burned off in small controlled fires rather than letting it build up, provide fuel for an inferno. Wuraolami Olanipekun, Osrc News.
To end the Osrc News at 7, let's take another look at some of the major stories. We told you that Ondo State government has reaffirmed commitment to combating crimes. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who gave the assurance, noted that security and rule of law are central to the state's development plan. And finally, we told you that Japan has created a special city-friendly immigration plan for Nigerians seeking job opportunities. And that's news at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.